We are here to see through the illusion of suffering. And if you're one hearing this, I mean we. This is a statement for myself, but this is a broader statement. This is a broader understanding, a realization that I am coming to, and have come to, but continue to come to, because you just gotta keep realizing things at deeper and deeper levels. That's how we grow in this. That I have a specific intention as a part of this incarnation, and that specific intention for this life experience is to develop a powerful perspective of well-being that is so steadfast and unshakable and expansive that it includes not just my knowledge of wellness, not just my knowledge of myself, and holding that frequency of abundance and wellness and worthiness for my being, but being able to hold that so securely that it can be cast upon anyone and anything, that it can include specific others, that it can include the entire race of humanity, the entire world, and to be able to hold that knowledge of well-being so absolutely, so unshakably, that it actually creates a change in shared reality, in not just the individual, the personal sub-reality that each one of us experiences, but that it calls forth a change in the realities of others and in this shared collective space. We can't create in someone else's reality. We can't defy free will. That's not how this works. But we can help others to receive what they are asking for by knowing ourselves so surely that what they have asked for is received, by perceiving it as such, by seeing it the same way that we do it for ourselves. And I am coming to this understanding that this is a significant portion of what I intend to achieve and experience in this lifetime. Taking the journey for myself, coming to the place of awareness and deep relationship with inner being, with the self which is all self, with the recognition that all of us are the same self. We are one self, we are one consciousness. There is no difference, there is no division. And then in practicing holding this viewpoint, this perspective, which is alignment with the now, the fullness of the now, the presence of being, tapping into that feeling space. When we're feeling into the now, it simply informs. It fills everything in. There is nothing that needs to be known mentally. All of it is to be opened up to experientially, to be allowed in, to be felt, to be called in, and then the now just flows through you, and all of the wisdom of the soul, of our great soul, all of that knowledge is felt. It's known intimately. Again, not conceptually, not by the mind. It's experienced directly. And when we experience this for ourselves, we unlock that power of perspective, the ability to feel into this place of knowing the well-being of all, knowing the freedom, the security, the abundance, the radical worthiness, knowing that everything is free. Everything is free and unlimited. Everything. And when you can feel into that space and know that, you feel this tremendous sense of peace and joy and exuberance arising naturally from within you. And it's just a sense of, of course. Again, of course, all of this is right. All of it is as it should be. Of course, I am divinely cared for and provided for each and every moment. Of course, everything is filling in for me. Everything flows to me. Of course, it's all working out. Of course. Of course, I receive everything I need and then some. Of course, all of my desires come to fruition and are fulfilled. And of course, a portion of that desire includes sharing this with others, with the rest of myself, sharing the abundance of financial freedom, the abundance of emotional freedom, the abundance of love, the abundance of peace and stability, all of these things. Of course, all of that comes to fruition. And now we get to practice the witness of that for others as well. And I am becoming aware that my experience with my ex is a big part of this practice. This is how I'm really learning this lesson, because there is so much history there of shared trauma and shared fear, shared concern, shared diminishment. Being able to feel the emotions of someone that you care deeply for and not being able to control them, but having spent a long time trying to control them as a people pleaser, as a codependent person. And so, first of all, learning how to relinquish that control, how to regain control over my own self, reclaim my own sovereignty over emotion and experience, and simultaneously release the control over another's. And now, in this place, to witness the disturbance of another and not to be disturbed by it, because there is such a pattern of that, because that has been the history. That was the dynamic. Witness her disturbance, become disturbed, become deeply disturbed, deeply upset at the upset of this other person. And now, instead of that, I get to practice. First of all, I get to witness when that happens. I get to witness the triggering, because there is absolutely a triggering. That is a deeply ingrained dynamic. And every single time I experience it, it is a gift and it is an opportunity to make a different choice. And that choice is to feel my way into the perspective of well-being. And it starts with my own. It starts with knowing my own absolute well-being, returning to that state of centered presence, of feeling my abundance, feeling my worthiness, knowing it absolutely to be true, to be irrefutable, undeniable, then connecting to the space of the shared self and casting that gaze upon her, and knowing as truly and as surely as I know my well-being, that her well-being is intact, that it is present, it is secure, it is abundant, every bit as much, knowing it as strongly as I know my own, and then casting that gaze upon her, and casting that gaze, in fact, upon the entirety of this world. And that's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to do. This is what, and I'm not making comparisons, I'm saying that these are our teachers. Jesus, Buddha, the great ascended masters of our time, the great healers, had this ability, the ability to know and hold the frequency, because the frequency is a feeling. The feeling is the feeling of realization. It is that direct knowing, again, not conceptual, direct, experiential, the feeling of it, the absolute certainty of it. They had this ability to know well-being and abundance, to know divinity, to know our freedom and our security, and to know it so powerfully for themselves that they could then take that gaze and cast it upon another who is, as Abraham Hicks has spoken, dripping in illness, dripping in disease, dripping in disorder, in suffering. To be approached by one who is so wrapped up in this resistance and not be bothered by it, not care, not even see it, because they could look straight past it, straight through the illusion, cutting through it, and seeing the truth on the other side, the truth of that person's absolute perfection, of their absolute well-being, the truth that, of course, they are abundant and provided for. Of course, nothing has gone wrong. Of course, they are well. Of course, they are vital and vibrant and healthy. Of course, they have an abundance of everything that they need and ask for. Of course, all of their desires are fulfilled. And then holding that knowledge and beaming it so intensely, and this is what Source does for us, this is what our inner beings do for us. So we are called to step into the role of inner being, to embody the soul self, the highest self, the inner self, and hold that awareness for ourself, as ourself, for others. And so project this incredible stream, this combined stream, because now it's not just Source and non-physical beaming this, it's coming directly through, it's being focused through the crystal center of our form, and like a laser shining this light of love, of unconditional abundance, worthiness, and well-being upon others so powerfully that they cannot help but shift their own perspective, that they cannot help, that their reality cannot help but change as a result of this, because it is in alignment with not just their deepest desire, but the deepest desire of soul, which is to know self. And to know self is to know love, is to know worthiness, is to know your absolute freedom, to know that everything is provided for, to know that you are taken care of each and every moment, continuously, eternally, steadfastly, not skipping a damn beat. Always, always you are loved, always you are cared for, always everything is taken care of for you. And to feel the freedom, the empowerment of this, and shine that for everyone else so powerfully that they cannot help but be called into the realization of it, to awaken souls to this truth. That's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to do. I do believe that the core purpose of being is simply being. But I also feel there is a mission here, because self wants to know self. Self wants to awaken to the full knowledge of self. That's a part of all of this. And we each have different roles to play in that awakening. And it is escalating now, and it is expanding, and it is including greater and greater portions of the collective. Because the collective soul wants to know itself, and it wants to know its worthiness, its wellness, beyond the shadow of doubt, without a shred of doubt, with absolute confidence, faith, certainty. That is what knowing is. Knowing as in gnosis. It is unable to be contested. It's that kind of truth. It is so obvious. It's undeniable. It is the same kind of undeniable that is felt when witnessing the now. When witnessing what is. Can you deny what is? It is. There is no denying it. Can you feel how obvious and certain that is, and how empowering and relieving it is to face the truth of what is? That is the feeling of knowing. That is the feeling we intend to embody in the knowing of our wellness, the knowing of our divinity. And we are intending to know that for ourselves so powerfully and so certainly, and to practice ourselves into that place of feeling realization so continuously that it is the continuous state. It is a continuous realization, that we never forget it. And of course, we got to forget it sometimes so that we can remember it again, because it's all a practice. But the more we forget, the more we remember. And then the forgetting becomes less and less. And the remembering becomes the dominant. It takes root. We become rooted in presence and in this knowledge through the now of everything that we are and everything that is true. And that truth is, we are good. We are good. Everything is so good. It is so right. It is so perfectly taken care of. There is nothing out of place, nothing to worry about, nothing for you to do. Everything is provided for you. We're here to resonate that. We're here to hold that frequency and to shine it for our own selfish satisfaction and pleasure and delight, for the abundance that comes to us for knowing our own worthiness and receiving the fulfillment of all of our desires, which is deserved and right. And by doing so, showing the way for everyone else, but also being able, by the practice of our own focused awareness of self, to shine that light upon others and to expand it, to increase the size of this gaze, of this ray, and create new earth by this, by our knowledge that it already exists, that it is real, that it is here, that everyone and everything is flourishing. It cannot help but flourish. It cannot be anything but joyful and exuberant and successful and alive and vibrant and well. Abso-fucking-lutely. That's what we're here to do. And I'm thrilled to be participating in this with you. Thank you.